Yeah, we have. Okay, you're good.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Steve's Edge to Edge quilting class.
Yes.
He is sporting some of the items that he introduced last night.
You know you can sleep in these?
No.
You can sleep in these. I think they're waterproof too. Yes.
Oh, that makes them even better. That's my favorite right there. Yes. All right.
So today we're going to do edge to edge quilting on the Solaris Vision. PJ's going to adjust those circles out of my glasses there.
Oh.
So we're going to do edge to edge quilting on the Solaris Vision. And I thought the way to do this to start is to start with something small.
On a practice
On
fabric.
a practice fabric.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes we want to do a quilt that we've put time into.
A queen size.
Queen size quilt is your first quilt.
Yeah.
That you spent 6 months making.
Yeah. No.
We're going to do this. So it's a smaller quilt. It's going to take 12 hoopings to do. I'll give you the dimensions of what this is. And when I do things like this, I pick something that reads solid as the front and something busy for the back. Okay. And then that'll give you a nice quilt. But this is a Fairy Frost. And we met with the Fairy Frost rep today.
Yeah.
Fairy Frost herself.
And
yes.
we should call her Fairy Frost
from
here on.
We're going to call her her name's Millie, but to us, she's Fairy Frost.
Fairy Frost, yes. And it's a fabric that we love,
Frost.
Everyone loves, right? And last night we introduced the jacket kits. And I looked closer at the picture and I saw that they used different backgrounds. And I thought to use the same background, here's the one
that would be so boring.
It would be so boring to have every single block the same background. And so she and I picked out
subtle difference. I think
subtle difference, and that's going to give it make it look so much better.
Looks so good.
It's going to look good no matter what. But I think I will like it. So that's what we said. We're going to make their kits even better than what we thought.
That metallic thread there.
Yeah. But see, I'm going to change that up too.
Are you?
Not all the blocks are going to have metallic. Some will have purple. Some might have black. You know, so I think do different things, and oh my gosh, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Someone looks like I'm ready for an operation. I love that game, Operation. Yeah.
So, you do?
We will. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yes, we can try that out. Yes. Yes. Okay.
So I guess we'll just get started, and of how I did the quilt sandwich and stuff like that, and what I used today. So
I have a measuring tape.
Oh my gosh, so
you have? Oh, you do too.
I do.
Okay.
But we can use both, yeah. So I have this steam press here, and I pulled our steam press out because when you're working with, I'm using the Hobbs fusible batting because I don't want to pin or pre-baste anything.
No.
I love this fusible batting because it just fuses your layers together, and then someone's calling to buy a sewing machine. I'll have to call them back.
Yeah, yeah.
But this press, the pressing mat. The pressing surface is this big.
Oh, yes. So I can't wait to try this out.
You get this done in so much faster time. Because I'm thinking there, if I was going to have to stand here today and hold that iron and hold the iron and keep moving around.
It would take 4 hours.
We would have been 2 hours late.
Right.
So with this, I was able to literally and I'll demo it today how we did it, set it down, and I went over and did something else. Came back, lifted it up, and just moved it to the next spot. So I'm going to show you guys how that works too. So we'll see. Yes, I probably look at my guiber, and I'm going to actually take some of this stuff off so I don't cling and because everything's making noise. I can feel like on my microphone. So
yes, it's sport.
I'm going out for dinner later, so I'm going to take this with me. So I don't want to forget that.
Yes, yes. Are you going out to dinner with a bunch of people?
Yes.
And you can show them your sport.
Oh God, I'm going to take it.
You got to take it. You got to take it.
If you haven't got one of these 10-in-1 tools, you got to get one. So.
Yes.
Okay, good. I think
I have enough. You could leave that one on.
I'll leave this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll use yours. So let's measure the quilt top first and our quilt backing. To make this easier, we're going to start small. So I just went 44 by 44 for the backing fabric. This width of fabric by 44 inches, and that is the size of our backing fabric, and that's what this was. So I'm just going to double check it to make sure that's what that was. If you guys want to try to do this at home too, this size is, so what was this? Yep, about 44. Okay. And then you want your quilt top to be smaller, and you want 3 to 4 inches all the way around. So our quilt top is here. Let's measure that one inside. Your batting, you want to be the same size as your backing fabric. It just makes it easier if your batting is the same size as your backing fabric. This is 38. And then what's it this way?
Let's go here.
36. Okay.
So that gives you a good 4 to 5 inches.
Yep.
Yeah, like 4 and 5. Okay.
And with this technique, the stitching is going to be right up against the edge here. And the edge quilting, when you talk about edge quilting, it's the same design repeated down the quilt and across the quilt. So you shouldn't see like where rows interact or where they separate. You should be able, it just looks like one continuous pattern like the quilt over there. But we'll pull that down. We'll show you guys that edge over there.
I can grab it.
Yeah, let's do
I'll
that.
grab
Yep.
it.
Or I can bring the camera over.
She's going to grab the
Okay.
edge. So it's a great way to do your quilts because you get all over quilting that looks really nice. And the Solaris has 10 different patterns built in, and that was with upgrade 3. So if you haven't gotten upgrade 3 yet, it's totally worth it. I feel like just for that edge quilting.
Right, definitely.
So-
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think if we show you the, oh, there, you can see it on both
Look at
sides.
look at here.
Let's pull that down there. For this.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you can't see where the rows go. They just look like one continuous pattern. And that's what you'll get when you follow along with the steps here.
So they mean edge to edge, that it's quilted from this edge all the way to the other
it's-
edge, through the borders, through everything.
Through the binding space, everything. So Steve's mic's not loud. Okay. I'll turn it up that way.
Here, I can turn you up.
Okay. So it goes through into the binding, everything like that. If you're doing custom quilting, you wouldn't want your stitching or your quilting to be covered by the binding. But with this, it goes clear off the edge. So, and then we'll show you guys how we put the sandwich together. I kind of did ours ahead of time, so we'd be ready to go. But I just found the center of the quilt and the backing fabric and just kind of centered them up in here. And I've already fused the layers together, so it's sticking together. I'm just here. This side isn't stuck, so I'm going to show you how we did this part here. So let's see. Let's get our heat press turned on. If we can put that, oh, you got that up, good. Put this- So we always check to see what the latest version of irons or products are. And the one that we have offered for you guys today is the latest steam press out. Is the newest technology in that Steam Fest one. This is the previous model that we have here, but essentially does the same thing. So with these, there's different settings like for silk, nylon, wool, cotton, or linen. And I'm going to turn this on to the cotton, or I'm going to turn it on to the linen setting to get it really heated up here so we can fuse this.
Yep.
Maybe we should do overhead so I can see it.
Sure.
Yeah, let's try that.
Or I can come
That's-
around with the other camera, and that might be.
Let's do that maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
this made it so much faster than just using the Panasonic iron to go around. But
Okay.
so with this fusible batting, you want to kind of protect the heating surface. So this top portion here is where the heat comes from, and this bottom portion is just like a pressing board or an ironing board here. And we used ours many times getting ready for an event. So I just recovered it this morning with the ironing board covers that we have. And we're going to show those a little bit too, but it turned out really great, this ironing cover. So this part was back here. Yeah, so this part still needs fused a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, if you want to fuse the front, and it's nice to get the edges fused down well, but if you put the heat press down on it now, you're going to get that fusible on your heating surface here. So we have these Teflon pressing cloths, and I like to use 2 of them, and you just cover up where the batting would touch the heating surface. And you can do this too with your regular iron. So just put those over, and then, is this heated up yet? Yeah, it's getting warm. I'm going to clamp it down. So you basically just clamp it down, push the locks down, and then you just wait. Wait, it'll make a beep actually when it's done, like pressing that portion of it, and then just wait for it to fuse. think we're not hot just yet. But that's how I did the edges. And it's good to press the other side too. So then as I moved through, I just took the quilt and pushed it through, started just right down the middle and just clamped each section and left it there. I feel like all our photos. So, and you want to wait, the package on this batting, let's grab the package of the batting too.
Sure. Just come up to the front. I think we got
Okay.
it.
Yeah, they can see from here too. That's good. If anyone has a heat press at home, this one here. This is the batting we're using. So it's fusible batting from Hobbs. It's 80% cotton, 20% polyester. I like that mix because you get the cotton in the quilt, but the 20% polyester so it doesn't shrink up so much. But the fusible part of this just makes it amazing because you don't have to pre-base. I hate having to like put the pins in or anything like that.
What size do you have there?
This is the crib size. This is what we use for today. We use the crib size. And we also have, what size is the heat press? I think it's in the description. We can measure it here too.
I'll see if it's in the description.
This one says 32. I think the one,
Okay, let me see on the description here. Let's see. It says
25 by 10.
25 by 10 and a half.
10 is the pressing surface on that one. But I liked it locking it down like this because I just walked away and did something else and came back over and tended to it and then just slide it through again like this, clamp it down. And if it's on the other side of the quilt, we can always turn the quilt this way. But I think we're pretty good diffused here. But that using this made all the difference. Also, if you're going to do hot fix adhesive on your pieces, I mean, that hot fix, it wants you to hold it there for I forget how many seconds, 30 seconds or something like that. That's a long time if you got to stand there and hold it to count that high. So I feel like we never give it the time it needs to set. But with this, just press it down, clamp it in place, and then you can let it heat there. So I'm glad we pulled this out. So it's neat to have to help you out in your room. So what else do we have to do? I think we can go over to the machine.
Okay.
So the one we're using is 6 inches wider. I think this one is this one might be a little different size.
Okay.
So, but you know what? I see, yeah, we'll be okay here. I'll turn this guy off. Is there a timer you set on the heat press? I'd have to read the book on this one because some of them it beeps at a certain time, and I'm not sure what that is, when it beeps and stuff like that in the different modes. But this one they offer steam. The modes that it offers is nylon, silk, wool, cotton, and linen at the different degrees, and then. When you clamp it down, it does beep, and then it auto shuts off because while we were moving around and doing stuff today, I like set it, clamped it down, and then I forgot it for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And I was like, oh, and it was fine. So it has a safety setting for that way too. So, but let's head over to the machine and start getting this set up for quilting. We are gonna use the largest magnetic hoop for our machines, the Dime. 10 5/8 by 16 magnetic hoop. And then the other thing is that when you're working with quilting, this project is not as a big deal because it's a smaller project, but you want to put your machine in the middle of your table wherever you're working. So we have our machine, we kind of have it pushed back a little bit in the middle of our table with the leaf up on our cabinet to support the quilt. When the quilt's falling down or dragging, that's when you can run into some trouble. So you just want to make sure the quilt's well supported. So if you're working in your dining room or on your cabinet, open up that leaf and just put your machine more towards the middle of the table, and you'll have more success with it. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take my magnetic hoop here, and we're going to slide in the bottom portion here. And you're going to leave that in. That's why we like these magnetic hoops. If you've tried doing the edge-to-edge quilting with a regular hoop, you can do it. It's just a little tougher. So you leave the bottom portion in. You take the top portion up and just move it over the machine like this and leave it rest there. Okay? The other thing we're using is a variegated thread. It's our exquisite variegated thread. I thought this green would look nice with this green. I have that same thread in the top and in the bobbin. So I wound a bobbin with that thread on. And when I'm winding bobbins, I'll show you this here. So when you're winding bobbins on this machine, especially for quilting, you want a real nice tight bobbin. A nice tight bobbin is the foundation of a good stitch. And to do that, so I'm just going to go 1 over to 2 here, and I'm going to go around this tension disc 1 like that. And you get a little more tension on that thread. So I'm going to do that again. So we're going to go here into 1, over to clip into 2, and I'm going to go around it and around it like that. So go once, twice. And when you pull on it, there's just a little more tension, so you get a real nice tight bobbin, okay? So we'll get the machine threaded up here. There goes one of those graceful caps. That's why we sell them in packs of 8 now, because if that ran away, you might not find it for a while. Koala cabinets are still on special. So if you want to do edge-to-edge quilting on a koala cabinet, we can make that happen for you. So there's still the base cabinet plus the free caddy plus the delivery, all for the $39.99 price. So we have one set up here to look at. So it makes a big difference sewing on a cabinet. I also like to have a piece of paper, just a blank white piece of paper, so I can help see the projector when we're working. So I have that here too. The other things I have is our tweezers. These are the tweezers that have the flat spot on the back here, that when you tweeze, you can pull up that bobbin thread. So I like to have those. And then just our squeezy snips are the things I like to have next to me. So from the home screen here, I just want to point out...
let me adjust that just a little bit. There you go. Yeah, that's...
want to point out a video to help you along, built right into the machine. And if you go up to the question mark here, let's plug my mouse in here. There we go. So up to the question mark here, it looks like a film reel with a question mark in between. Click there, go down to video. Now, all different kinds of operations. I mean, if you forget how to wind a bobbin, change the needle, they're all here for you. But I believe it's under embroidery 1. No, let's look embroidery 2. So embroidery 2, there's that quilting edge-to-edge symbol right there. So if you click there, it's a little 8-minute video. They don't talk to you, but they don't miss a beat. They should go through every step as a kind of a refresher for you how to set this up. So let's just close that for now. Let's go home. We're going to go into embroidery. In Q down here is our quilting menu, and that's where we're going to start. So we're going to hit tap the Q button here. Now across the top here, these different tabs. There's border quilting here, and there's 20 different border patterns to choose from. Under tab 2, there's 2 color borders. Tab 3 are our hexagons. That's a hexagon? Yeah, hexagon. And then tab 4 is where you're going to find those quilting designs. So right now they offer us 10 quilting designs, and there's a good selection of different ones here. Today we're going to use the leaves, and we're going to go ahead and just hit set from there. So this is our chance to put in the dimensions of our quilt, and you can see the parameters that it gives you. You can do something as small as like 8 inches all the way up to 118 inches. So start small, and you'll be good. So our width of our quilt, we said it was 36 inches wide, so we'll go 3, 6, set. The length of our quilt top was 38, so we're going to go 3, 8, set. So that was 1. That's 2. Number 3, which hoop are you using? I always try to use the biggest hoop, the 10 5/8 by 16. If you're doing a smaller project like a table runner, maybe you want to use the 8 by 12 hoop. But that's important. I know some people run into trouble because they were using the 9.5 by 14 hoop by mistake with the setup as a 10 5/8. So don't mess yourself up. Make sure you're using the hoop that matches the size that you put in. Any questions so far? I hope they give us more designs, Joanne. We've asked them for them. So they, in like the fill patterns, when they originally came out in IQ Designer, I think we had 10 or 15, and now we have over like close to 50 built in. So I think they'll be coming more. So that we did 1, we did 2, we did 3. Now 4 is flip option. You could skip 4 and you would, I think you'd be just fine, but let's just look at what the flip option is. The flipped option just shows how the patterns are going to meet up, and it gives you 4 different options here. So you can just click through them. So that's the first one. You can see how that one changed from this one. I feel like we're the eye doctor. 1 or 2, 3 or 4. So I like the first one. It looks fine to me just that way, so I'm just going to leave it that way. But you can tell like it changes right in this area the way it looks. So we're going to go with that. And by the time it's all quilted out, I don't think you'd be able to tell whether you used 3 or 4. So let's see, Tommy Sweatshirts. Oh yeah, he's doing a promo discount, so that's great. And then we couldn't get the thread to match. We have thread. Yes, we will have thread to match as well. And I know he's been working on that, so we'll have that for you too. Let's put the upgrade 3 in the bubble, I guess.
Sure.
So we're gonna go ahead and when putting in dimensions, you put in the long side first or the short side. You're going to start on the top left corner of your quilt is where you're going to start. So whichever orientation that is for you, and I got to figure out which one's 38 and which one's 36 here. So we're going to look at this together. Would you look at that? My backing fabric just fell off. That's okay. We can, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
you
show
want
here.
to show him? Okay.
So. So is looking at it, does one looks wider or longer? Which one's the 38 and which one's the 36? Can you tell? One of them's 2 inches longer. This way or this way? This way?
Yeah.
Is the
just by judging my eye judging, I would say it's taller than it is wide.
Okay, that's what we want because that's what we put in. So you're going to start in this upper left-hand corner of your quilt and work from there. So we'll just double check it to make sure that that's the right measurement.
I'm not like Joni. I can't just eye judge.
I feel like our eyes are pretty accurate to find the center of something, things too, but let's see. We'll see if he's right. So, and that's it. Yep. So we're at 36 wide, 38 long. So. So back on the screen here, we just went to the next screen, and it's just showing us that your quilt is 38 inches tall, 36 inches wide, and it's 12 pieces of how many to do it. The other things down here is it gives you options of a single stitch or a triple stitch. Quilting to me is just that single running stitch, and that's what I want, but it gives you the option for a thicker, if you're doing maybe a smaller project, you might want that triple stitch. Now the other thing is it tells you what color it's going to be. It's coming up Aran green. Well, that doesn't sound like it's going to work on my green fabric. A green on a green, I might not be able to see it. So this is your chance to change the color that's going to be projected down. So I'm going to change it to maybe like red, because I feel like the red is going to show up better on my green fabric than this green color is. So you just click this little button right here with the spool and the 4 colors. And then it comes up with all these colors. I'm going to change it to, there's one that's got fewer colors all at once there. So this embroidery one, so I was just clicking the arrows over here to the right, and then it gives you a nice selection, a bunch of different colors. We always pick this bright red so you can really see it. I think that's going to stand out on our quilt. And we're going to say, okay. So from here, you're going to put that into the memory of your machine. So you're just going to tap memory. It's going to say the pattern was saved in your machine's memory, and we're going to say okay there. It automatically defaults you right back to the memory on the machine here, and it's this first one on the list. And it tells right in there, you can see the numbers 36 by 38, and that's the quilt that we want to quilt out. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. Now, I'm going to click this arrow button that's right over here, and that's just going to expand that window up so we can see what's going on. So the first design right here is all 12 pieces. There's the 12 number. And then it's each piece individually after that. We always choose the very first one right there because that's going to walk us through for the edge-to-edge quilting. So I'm going to click there and hit set. This screen tells you what to do. Do you set up stitch length, or is it's automatically selected, Cindy? I would probably not put T on batting for top. Okay. Yeah, it's automatically selected for the stitch length, and it's probably set at that 10 to 12 stitches per inch that we like. The stitch length has always looked really nice. But this screen is going to tell you what to do, and you want to go ahead and do it, and then hit the OK button. So I'm going to leave it there so I know what I'm doing. Now this lighter blue fabric around the outside, that's your extra backing and batting. The darker blue that's inside here is your quilt top. And you just want to make yours look like this with the upper left corner. So I lost the upper left corner because I don't know which way it is. So we measure it in here real quick. There's 36. I'll just do it up here real quick. There we go.
You're gonna stretch it out.
There's the 36. Okay,
36.
so this is the top. We'll grab my hands on that so I know which one's which. So we're gonna go from this side, I think, here. Okay. So I'm gonna lay the fabric in here, and I can feel where the edges of my hoop is underneath there. And we're gonna swing this around. And get that clamped down. Now these bubbles and everything, you can deal with all that later, just in a second. But it helps to roll this up. And sometimes it actually helps to roll it up before you even get it in the machine, I feel like. Let's do that together, actually. Let's try that again. So if this is the upper left corner, take your quilt and give it a roll like this. And it'll be a lot easier. There. So we have the quilt rolled up on this side, and we're starting with the upper left corner there. And I'll take this and slide it in. That's going to be a lot easier for us. So I can feel where the edge of that hoop is all the way around. I want to try to get in there as straight as possible. And we're going to clamp this around like that. The first thing I do when I clamp that around is I just pinch the sides and the top to make sure that one is directly over top of the other. And then the next thing I do is I just pull the bubbles out. So you just pull, and this is just going through it once, so you don't, it's pretty forgiving here, I feel like, with this. But that's, I'm going to slide it up a little bit. That looks good to me. So the this portion of the quilt's all taken care of. It's and this portion, you just kind of set it on your lap there so it's supported and not dragging. So we've done this part here, and our quilt looks like the screen. So the next thing we're going to do is just hit the OK button. We're going to use the move pattern keys to align with the upper left corner. Okay? So basically just want to put that dot on our upper left corner. Okay? So let's do that. So let's say OK. So on here on the screen,
Okay.
this dot right here is the one that we want to put on the upper left corner of our quilt top. Now let's talk about what some of the buttons do on the screen here too. So these buttons here are our move buttons. They just shift the pattern up and down for us. You can click you can nudge the pattern up and get it in place. The buttons down here change the reference point. So these buttons down here change our reference point or our registration point. Now the green crosshair is on the upper left, and that's what is highlighted there, because that's where we're assigning the pattern from the upper left corner. And then these other patterns are just points around that design. So like the center, top center, you can see where that's going to be. This little squiggle one, that's your starting point. That's going to show you where the starting point is. So those just change your reference point. These top ones move the pattern. Okay? What if you could take a picture? I've never tried that. There's a camera right there. That's interesting. Maybe we should try that sometime. So I'm just going to shift this pattern up because we can see on our quilt top here, and that's why I like the piece of paper. Slide that underneath, and you can really see where that is. And now I feel like the projector, to me, sitting here is so clear and so like real bright. I feel like our cameras don't capture the projector of what it actually looks like. Can you see now?
Pretty
Oh,
good.
it's really good. Okay. Normally there's like this rainbow effect going through it that's real bright and stuff. But so that's the corner that we want to put right up top there. So we're just going to use the move keys, and we're just going to shift that pattern up. And then let's see where we are right on that pattern. It looks real good right there. Okay. And then we're going to say OK on our screen. Next, use the rotate keys to adjust the angle. So basically what this is telling us is we're going to check to make sure that the quilt doesn't go up and off at the top. So we're going to check that point there. So we're going to say OK. And if we look at our pattern here, it's just down a little bit. So you can do one of two things. You can like pull and you can shift your fabric to kind of move it into place a little better, or you can use the buttons on the screen. So whichever is easier for you. But let's look at the buttons on the screen here, and it's these angle buttons right here. So I feel like mine needs to go up just a nudge. So I'm going to go up, and I'm going to start with the smallest first. And that didn't change it much. Let's try the 1 degree, and that's better. Let's look at that over here, and that looks pretty good to me. Right there on the edge, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Why does the projector look exactly right on your fabric but when it stitches out, it's off?
We'll have to address that question with the projector. I feel like the center of your projector is when you're lining things up, like this up here. And I know what you're talking about, Barb. We'll talk about that. I'm glad you asked that. We're gonna jot that down, Barb. At your question about that. So, so we did what it said on that screen. We're just gonna say OK here, and it's ready to stitch out. You're gonna keep doing these same steps over and over again through the quilt. So getting acquainted with these first steps is kind of the most important. So I'm gonna move the machine to the very first stitch, because right now the machine's in the center of our hoop. So I'm going to go down to the minus plus down here, and I'm going to go to stitch 1. So I'm going to hit the +1, and we're going to advance to stitch 1. I'm going to take this tail from the needle, and I'm going to do a needle down, needle up. I'm going to pull on that tail, and our bobbin thread pulls up here. I'm going to take our little tweezers, and you're going to pull, and just pull your bobbin thread up. This keeps any tails from being on the back of the quilt, and you just get a nicer finish on the back. So I'm going to take these 2 threads, and you're just going to kind of just hold them, and I usually just put a finger on them like this, off to the side, and we're just going to go ahead and hit start. Let it run a few stitches. I stop it for a second. I'm going to trim those threads just to get them out of the way, and we're going to keep going here. I like quilting on fabric that reads as a solid. When you have a very busy quilt, it's either like one or the other. Either you have a quilt that the quilt top is really what's being showcased, or you have a quilt where it's the quilting that's really being showcased. And with a fabric that reads as a solid like this, you get a really chance to show off your quilting stitches. And same thing with our fancy fills that are built into our machine. If you use a busy fabric, you just lose all that fancy feel of it. So shifting the image, wouldn't you shift the quilt? And this, when you're working with this, there's like always a couple different ways. There's like 100 different ways to make chocolate chip cookies. There's probably 100 different ways to quilt a quilt. So when you're working with this, whether you nudge the pattern up with the buttons on the screen, or you just shift the quilt, it's kind of like either way, whatever you think would work best for that. I think you're going to end up with a nice result. I feel like people can feel like this is not forgiving and get too worried about on the exact placement. But I feel like this is really forgiving. That as long as it's close to being in that upper left corner, close to being in that top, you're probably really pretty good with how this is. Just keep an eye on your edges, that your foot's not going to get caught. We've all had that happen to us, with where your foot has caught on the edge of the fabric. So you just want to be mindful and just kind of watch this as it goes through. When you're quilting it, if you are, you can always put a little bit of tape down on the edge there. But I tried to fuse this batting as close as I could to the edge of the quilt, so that would hold down well. Because when you're doing quilting on a long arm quilting machine, you baste your edges down first before you do the quilting part. So, and next week we have Denise Schober Applegate and Tim Schomburg. Now you're going to ask, who are those people? They are the Vice President of Sales for Baby Lock. He's going to be here, as well as our new sales manager, Denise. She's been with Baby Lock a long time. She's very knowledgeable. She got accepted this position, took this position as a manager. We're looking forward to working with her. And we're going to have some specials.
Yeah, specials.
Specials.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to put them on the spot.
We're going to make them sew
and sell.
And sell.
Uh-huh.
We're going to make them do the product list. We're going to make them pull the products, ship them out, everything.
Everything. We should.
Yeah.
Just so they see what it's like. Yes.
So we're excited. They're both good personality, fun people. So they're gonna fit in right along for 2 days. So don't miss any shows on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Now it's doing a little corner stitch here to help us line up the next row. That's one done. 12 to go. No, that's one done. 11 to go. Okay, 11 more, and this is all be done. So that's one. Doesn't look great?
Not bad at all, right?
No, we're just walking through. So on the screen it says embroidery is finished. Okay to connect to the next pattern. We're going to say okay. Now don't hit the OK button, because if you forget what it tells you to do, you can't go back. So wait till you do it, so you leave this up as a reference to refer back to, because the phone could ring, something could happen, you can come back and, what was I supposed to do? So leave this screen up, do what it says to do, and then hit OK. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hoop. We're going to flip that up and over here. We're just shifting the quilt to the left so that the edge of where it's finished here is on the inside of the quilt on this side. So we're just going to shift this over. And here's where my quilting ended. And we are going to fill, okay, so there's the top of our hoop. That looks pretty good to me, so we'll do that. Flip this down. Clamp that in place. I'm pinching to make sure it's all lined up. I'm just going to pull, get the bubbles out here. There. So I've done what it said to do, and now I'm going to hit the OK button. It's Denise Schober.
Applegate.
Applegate.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's people with those two last names.
I
It's
know.
too much for me to remember.
It is.
Yeah.
It is too
Denise
much.
Schober, Applegate Schober. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's
I bet
Denise,
she'll answer to both.
she will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Denise is probably good. So
Yeah.
say OK. Now this screen's telling us use the move pattern keys to align the start point with the end point of the previous pattern. So all we're doing is we're just going to connect where the pattern starts and where it ended. Okay? So we're going to say OK there. And on the projector here, we can see the green crosshair is where our pattern's going to start. And we want to line that point up with where we ended. And where did we end? We ended way up here. So we're going to use our move pattern keys to move this point right here up to there. So on the screen, I'm going to use the move keys. So we're just going to shift up here and over. Now do you hear a different sound? A knock knock sound? We're far right on this side. So I left it, I guess, a little bit more room than I needed to on this side. So let's see where our start point is. And it is right there. And I feel like there's a couple stitches. So I feel like I need to pull my quilt to the left a little bit. So I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to pull here. Just kind of give it a little pull this way. And that's what's so nice about the magnetic hoops is you can help manipulate the fabric and pull it. If you had the regular hoop in, you'd have to go back over the table, unhoop it, rehoop it. So that's why if you're doing this, use the magnetic hoop. You're going to be a lot happier with how the process works. So let's check our point here. So there's our green crosshair, and we just need to come down a little bit. And that looks pretty good to me. There's the crosshair, and that's where it ended right there. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and tap OK on the screen. Same thing as we did before. We just have to make sure our pattern doesn't go up and off the top of our quilt. So let's hit OK there. We'll check that out up here. Now I'm, maybe about a ½ inch down too far. The pattern is versus where my quilt top is. And I'm looking here, now that I'm looking at the top of this, I'm a little crooked. So instead of shifting the pattern, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just pull my quilt a little bit. And you can kind of shift that down and then hold your quilt here and line those back up. Like that. So that's a little, it's looking better there. There we go. So that point now is right at the edge of our top of our quilt there. So there's the point, there's the top of our quilt, so it looks good there. Definitely have that piece of paper handy. I feel like it makes a big difference when you're doing this. So we're going to tap OK on the screen. And it's ready to stitch. So let's go over to the minus plus button down here at the bottom. Let's plus one up. And now that I shifted the quilt a little bit, we are just a little bit off. So I'm gonna just tug that up a little bit to get our points to line up. And then you can drop your needle down and it's right where it ended up, right where it ended. So I'm gonna go and push that needle back up. I didn't pull the that extra tail. So where's the tail at here? I think it's this one right here. Yeah, so there's my top thread. There's my bottom thread. She's gonna pull those both out, hold those off to the side, and we'll hit start. Yes, Denise is very talented with the long arms. Do you have to check first mark again because you shifted? Yeah, we when we went to the to start at the start point, I could have went back and checked that start point since we shifted a little bit. But you can also just make that a little adjustment based off the starting point where it's going to start. And mine are like a half a stitch off there. Don't worry if it's off. When it's on a quilt, you're never going to be able to tell right where those are. So I have a bubble. Where's my bubble? These bubbles, I'm not going to worry about those little ripples.
I have a bubble. Where's that?
Right here, like these little ripples. I could try to like smooth those out, but I'm not going to worry about those. I think it'll be okay. The bobbin case we're using is the green dot bobbin case. It's the one with the green paint on the side on the screw. We're going to show the bobbin cases again today. The two different bobbin cases that came with your machine, there's one with green paint on the side, and there's one with a purple dot down in the center. And the one with the green paint on the side allows the stitches to lock in between the layers of fabric. So that's why you want to use the green dot. Now, if you have an embroidery only machine and you're doing quilting, like on the Meridian, your machine only came with that embroidery bobbin case. So you want to get a green dot to get those stitches to lock in between the layers and not pull that top thread down. So, but using the same weight thread at top and bottom, we never get any looping on the back. Didn't Gloria say to leave a 1/4 inch at the top? She may have, because that's the way she does it. And she said, did you say leave a 1/4 inch at the top? And you may have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just two different ways of doing it. This is how I do it, and this is maybe Joni does a little different. Gloria maybe does a little different from her and stuff. So it's all about finding like what's the easiest for you. But if you feel better leaving that 1/4 inch at the top, yep, leave that 1/4 inch for you. So your binding doesn't interrupt? Yeah, and that's the quilt police. They're out there. And the quilt police will tell you, with the edge-to-edge quilting, it goes off into the binding space. Your binding can cover it up. But honestly, I don't feel like you have to follow the rules. So if you don't want the binding space to be covered or your quilting to be covered, then you can worry about that. But I just let mine go up and off and just put my binding right over top of it. So that bobbin info again, we want to use the bobbin case with the green dot. Can we grab those bobbin cases, PJ?
Yeah.
I know once we start talking about those bobbin cases, I feel like our heads start, it's like chemistry or something, heads start spinning. So we have a bundle pack with the two bobbin cases in here. So let's open this up. We want to use the one with the green paint on this side here. So these are the two that came with your machine. These are wear items. These are the most often replaced item on your machine is the bobbin case, I feel like. The one with the purple dot down inside, that's the alternate bobbin case. The one with the green paint, it's right here. That green paint there.
Yeah.
They put that green paint on there so people don't adjust that tension. Well, you never really have to adjust tensions on the baby locks. But the one with the green paint is going to lock the stitches in between the layers. The purple dot is the alternate bobbin case. And what I tell people to try to remember is that using these two bobbin cases, if you start seeing white bobbin thread up top when you're embroidering, switch to this bobbin case and it'll fix it. If you can just remember that, I feel like the most that you need to know. Just the green dot is for quilting, and if you see white thread coming up to the top during your embroidery, switch to the one with the purple dot, and I bet it'll fix it. So embroidery only machine, what bobbin case do you need? You will need a green dot one, but it's not a bad idea to have an extra purple dot to use for embroidery. But the green dot you're going to use for quilting.
And the green dot did not come
Did
with
not
their
come
machine.
with your embroidery only machine.
It makes a huge difference.
You get those pokies on the back. The top thread's going to be coming down a little too far because that bobbin case is set at a tighter tension. So nothing wrong with this machine, just that it's an embroidery only machine, but we can also do quilting with it for. And I think probably there's a little bit of delay, so I probably answered that, Cheryl, what the alternate bobbin case is for. Just remember, if there's white thread coming up top when you're embroidering, switch to the purple dot, and I bet it'll fix it. That's how is that what you think? That's what I do? Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're next. So that's two
And
down.
if you have embroidery only, it will not look good with the purple dot bobbin case.
No, if you're quilting,
you have to have the green screw.
You heard Gloria. You
have
to have the green. And she's right.
It's a huge difference.
Because the top thread is going to be poking through to the back, and you won't like the look. You want those You want that quilting stitch to lock in your batting, not above or below the quilt. The green bobbin case fixes that for you. So, and it's nice to have one of each there too. So, we will. So it says okay if embroidery is finished. Okay to connect. Say okay there. Green dot for continuous. Green dot for continuous. Carol, tell me what you mean by for continuous.
Green dot for edge to edge.
Continuous quilting, yeah. Yes, green dot for continuous quilting, Carol, yep.
All other embroidery, we put the purple dot back in, right? Or do they leave the green dot in?
Once the one's in there, as long as the machine's working, it looks good, I just go with it.
Yeah.
But until something changes or something, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
if you have the green dot in and your white bobbin thread comes up to the top, then switch back to the purple dot.
Yep. And
you'll get balance tension with your green dot. Yeah.
So on the screen it says, please rehoop the fabric to the right and make it look like this picture. Okay, so I'm going to leave the picture up on the screen. And Ray, that's right. I never changed mine. Okay, Ray, that's good. just keep going. That's right. So we're going to pull that up off to the side, and we're going to slide this over to the left. Now, remember, I didn't have it over far enough last time, so we are going to try to make that not happen again. So there's the edge of my quilt. I'm going to put just like a finger space in between the edge of my quilt and where it starts there. And then the quilt will just go up a little bit. I think that'll be good right about there. We'll bring this over. Clamp that down, pinch the tops and the sides to make sure it's lined up. And then just go ahead and smooth out your bubbles here. And after a couple times of doing this, I'm telling you, you could get moving with some of these quilts. You can get a lot of quilt tops done if you're doing something for a gift or charity, or and I feel like once you start this quilting thing, you're going to love it so much. You're just going to want to have all those quilt tops. Fast quilt tops is what you'll want to have ready to go. So we made our hoop look like this, like our picture. So we're going to say okay there. What we want to do is we want to match up our starting point with our ending point just like we did before. So we're going to do that again. So let's hit OK. Now here's my starting point down here. Up here is where my starting point's there. My ending point is up there. I want to move this starting point to that ending point up there. So I'm going to use these move keys. We'll slide that up. Slide it over, and right there, That looks pretty good. That's right. We want it to be. So we're going to tap OK. This screen says make sure your quilt's not going up off the top of the quilt. So we're going to check for that. So we're going to say OK there. And we are down. Now, before, I kind of pulled and tugged the fabric to get it to line up better. This time, let's just try rotating it. Because I feel like our starting point's going to stay lined up better. So we need to shift this side of the quilt up this way. So we're going to use this up arrow here. So I'm going to try the 1%, or the 1 degree. We're going to click it a couple times here. Now I heard a knock knock. So that's as far as it'll let me. And there's just a little bit more up there. So if we just kind of pull that down a little bit. There, that's pretty good. And then we can check that starting point. Now, the starting point, when you're looking at this screen here, to recheck that, because this is good up here at the top. We look good there. The starting point here, if you click this button right here, so this one right here, it's going to move to the, well, close to the starting point. And it'll show on the projector here of where that is. So over here, there's our, that's the center, but that's our, yep. So it's going to be right below that, and it is. Because if you look on the screen over here, you're going to have to look real close. That green crosshair is right below where that stitch line comes in right there. And that looks pretty good up there. And we're going to check it when we do that needle up down here. So we're going to say OK on the screen. And we're ready to stitch. So we're going to go minus plus, plus 1. Now let's check it out here. And you can lower your needle down by hand there and see it's just off just a tiny bit. So we can just kind of tug that up there to get in place and sink the needle all the way down. Then use your needle up down button to bring it back up. So I'm going to press that button. It gets that needle back in the right place. And then let's pull that bobbin thread up there. So there's my top thread. There's my bobbin thread. It makes nice having these tweezers to grab that thread. And then we're just going to hold those off to the side here. Just put a finger on them and hit start. And I wanted to do a whole quilt because there's different scenarios that can happen as you move around the quilt, as you finish off the bottom, or as you move to the next row. So that's why I wanted to do as small as quilt as I could, so I don't keep you too long with this, but enough lesson to see all the scenarios of something that could come up, because we might do something real small, and there might be the one step that you run into that we didn't run into in our lesson, and you might not know where to go or what to do. So I felt like this size quilt would be enough that we could hit all the scenarios at the top, the bottom. So it has a top, a center row, and a bottom, and everything for this. And it looks really nice, this leaf pattern with our variegated thread. And I like variegated thread for quilting because the quilting thread, I want it to just marry. I want it to just kind of blend well with my fabric. And with the variegated threads, it gives you an opportunity to show off a couple of different colors. So the 15 spool variegated thread set's really nice because it gives you a lot of options for the quilting. And it works great in our quilts. So now if you have the Altair or Destiny that doesn't offer the edge-to-edge quilting, you need to call me. No, I was going to say you can do the stipple, and we were going to show that on the Meridian today, how to just pour a stipple into your and you can do that on the Solaris too. Just pour a stipple into the hoop in IQ Designer. There's no starting points to end up or anything like that. You just kind of move that stipple all the way around on your machine. We're going to try to do a lesson on that, but I just want to show you the steps in that IQ Designer, so that's coming up too. The other thing we have got going on is let's pan across the room to this beautiful baby luck venture over here. So we have a pre-loved baby luck venture available. Now the story behind this one is that a lady's starting a business and she got two machines, she got two ventures for her business, and she decided that she wanted a venture and a Solaris. So she said, can I bring that venture back and get a Solaris instead? And I said, sure, yes you can. So she only put 68,000 stitches on it, and now it's a used machine or a pre-loved machine, so we have it at a special deal. So if anyone's interested in a 10 needle machine, now is the time. If you're looking for a sign that you need a 10 needle machine, here is your sign. So that's available as well as a couple other pre-loved machines here too. So, but we're going to come back to that. So it's going to sew that little corner in.
I had the variegated thread in the bubble, but I was going to go back to the bobbin cases.
Okay, yeah. So the $500 deposit from last night, we can't tell you what it's for or anything about it. We all know is that there's something great, and if you want to put your name on the list, there's a $500 deposit. It's fully refundable. We'll learn more about it as the months go by here. But if you know, you know. So if you want to put your deposit in, you can definitely do that with us. And you get a special prize too. We're going to give you a gift of that Baby Luck collapsible cooler and this really nice thermos mug too. So we're going to do the last row here. So it says embroidery is finished. Okay to connect next pattern. We're going to say okay. Rehoop the fabric. So we're going to shift it to the left like we've been doing. Lift your hoop up and off. Slide it over. Grab that hoop and slide it back around. Okay, let's see. Am I up top here? Just a little too high. So I'm going to lift this up. Let's just slide that down, and we'll reclamp it in place here. That's better. Pinch, pinch. That's all lined up there. The top hoop lined up with the bottom hoop, and then we can just pull our little bubbles out here. It makes a big difference, I feel like, working on a cabinet too, because you have all this space and it's at the right height and everything, and it's sturdy for the machine. It makes it really nice to work from. And as long as Gloria's been in the sewing machine business, she'll tell you with tables, you got to get the right table, because if your machine isn't stitching, like stitches aren't lining up, it could be your table and not your machine. So we found that out for ourselves just recently next door. So you want a really sturdy table. So we've hooped up our picture. Our hoop looks like our picture here. So we're going to say okay. It's going to say use the pattern move keys. We're going to line up our starting point with our end point. A lot of the same kind of steps as we walk through here. So we're going to say okay. So here is our starting point. Our ending point is up here. So we're going to use our move keys.
A little bumpy there. Okay, here we go.
We're going to use our move keys to just shift that up. And we're going to shift it over. Let's see. I'm going to go down just a couple taps. That looks pretty good to me right there. Lined up there, so we're good there. Do I ever use the numbers on the side of the hoop to get my fabric in straight? You should. I feel like you could and you should more than I say I do, I guess. I just kind of I'm a winger. I just wing it. So, but you definitely can use your the numbers across to help you get hooped up there. But I feel like this is forgiving enough that you can and just kind of make sure it looks pretty straight, and you should be good too. So our starting and end points are lined up, so we're going to hit OK. Now this is a new screen. It's telling us two different things to look about. It's telling us to check to make sure our quilt isn't going up and over the top. And it also wants to know is how close we are to this right side edge. So we're going to look at both of these. So there's the top of the quilt and the side of our quilt, okay? And say okay here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do number 1, and that was the top of our quilt. How close are we to the top of our quilt? And look, we are almost right there. I just got to come down just a little nudge. So it's just up and over just a little bit.
Can you move your left hand?
This one?
Yep,
Yeah.
that way. Yeah, there you go.
That better?
Yeah.
So this is just, right, it's just up to a little too high. So I'm going to use the 0.1 degree and just nudge that down. And that's pretty good. Yep, that's good. Number 2 was the side of your quilt. So what I'm going to do is I want to, and it's hard to tell because it's like, I mean, we're pretty close to the edge here, but that's the corner. You can tell more so from the middle of the hoop down here of where you're going to be. So you want to check the top. The top, we're pretty good there on that side. I want to check down here and I want to check further down. So to get down there, you have to use these buttons down here that move the registration point. So this top right corner is highlighted blue because our green crosshair is up there on the top right. So let's check this position. And this one is like so close, not much adjustment needs to be made. I mean, it's right there. But if it was, say the pattern was in line with my piece of paper and it was way off, how do you fix it? So that is these buttons over here. So these buttons that have the arrows moving out or up and down, you can use this and you can stretch the pattern. So let's try it because we have a little bit of space here. So if I use that button, it just stretches the pattern over to get it right on the edge of that quilt. So that looks good. It's right on the edge there. Let's check the lower corner. And there's that green crosshair, and it's right in line with the edge of the quilt. So we are good to go. So we're going to say, okay. It's ready to sew, so we're going to go down to the minus plus. We're going to go +1, and we are going to make sure our starting point lines up with our end point. So we're going to drop our needle down here. Yep, and it's right in the spot where we want it to be. So drop our needle down. We're going to lift our needle back up. Pull that thread up here. My bobbin thread didn't come up, so we're going to do it again. So grab onto the top thread, do another needle up, down. So needle down, needle up, pull that top thread. There it is. I see it. Grab that, bring it over here. Just hold that off to the side, and we'll hit start. Maybe we should talk about some of the items as we go through each section. I can stay right here and we can just
Or you can, yeah.
either way. I can go up there.
Yeah, let's go.
You want to go up there? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Good.
So this section's sewing out. Let's start off with we can start with the hoops. So you definitely want the magnetic hoops when you're doing this. If you try doing it with the regular hoops, it's just not as much fun because you have to unclamp and reclamp. The magnetic hoops are the way to go when you're doing the edge-to-edge quilting. If you stretch it over the edges, the whole pattern enlarges so it stretches further down the fabric. So each row is kind of individual because you might have had more shifting on the top row than the next row. So it just kind of moves that very last pattern just gets stretched out a little bit to fill that edge. So the next row that goes down is a little independent because it might be a little different based on how it goes.
Here's
So,
one to show
wow,
them.
and then we got one here too. This is the, so if you have,
We doing okay?
yeah, we might, yeah, you might have
We're
to
good.
watch that. Yeah, that's good. So if you
I'll
have the
watch.
Solaris, we always tell you get the biggest hoop your machine. Look at it. That looks so good. Get the biggest hoop your machine can take. So if you have the Solaris and you don't have this hoop yet, just get it today. So it's the 10.5 by 16 magnetic hoop from Dime. It's going to come with these new stickers that don't have numbers now. They just have symbols, which I kind of like actually more than the numbers because the numbers
It made a noise, but I don't think it did anything.
the numbers are in centimeters, and I don't even know what a centimeter is. So the symbols actually help because I can look here. Oh, I need to line up with the flower. I need to line up with the flower here. Or I need to line up with the circle and circle there. So I like the new system. So these are the new stickers that are coming out in the magnetic hoops. Don't throw your stickers away. We get many people that said, I didn't get any stickers. Well, they came in they were folded up in a little piece of paper and you might have thrown them away. So don't throw your stickers away, and you can apply those to the edges of your hoop. And then it's nice to keep this corrugated plastic in between them. We somehow we've lost all of ours. So
Well, our customers threw them away, so we gave them ours.
we love
why
our
we don't have
customers,
them.
so we give ours to you since you threw yours away. So
Yes.
yeah, some of our
Not
hoops
only
don't have
the stickers, but they threw away this.
They threw it all away except
yeah,
for the
they
hoop,
threw away that, and you need that.
and we gave it back to you. We gave you ours, the shirt off our back. So the 9.5 by 14 is the next size hoop. It's a nice step down size hoop. The Altair Meridian Destiny. Can you buy replacement stickers? I don't.
Steve, it turned out perfect.
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 Should I
So,
bring it over? Or do you think leave it there?
Coming right over. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So can you get replacement stickers if Liz is out there?
Liz,
Liz.
she's our rep from
She's
Dime.
our rep from Dime. Sometimes she's watching. So Liz, if you could hear us, can we get stickers? So
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe.
I'll go email her right now.
Yes.
I'll go
Yep.
email her.
Yep.
Okay.
The stickers are like specialty stickers. So we're gonna go back over to the machine and go down to the next row. Okay.
Is that perfect?
Look at
or
the top
what?
row. You're gonna be so proud. You're gonna hang this on your wall. Your little,
Right,
your little
backwards,
back. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's look at the back. Everyone has to see the back, and it looks great. Now, if you don't want it to trim at the end, you could turn jump stitch, or you could end trim off, and not get the knots on the back. I guess you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the
'Cause
quilters
quilters-
don't like the knots. In the
So I
back.
just trim this. I just trim it and be done.
Right. I
But
don't
some people
worry.
don't. So it's up to you. But we can turn that end stitch trim off. I'll show you that, and how that works. But I feel like it's just an extra step. I like to cut the thread at the end, and I just clip those tails, and I'm done.
Right.
Yeah. So just clip your tails.
Do it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just leave them
Do
on
you
there.
pull your threads
don't
up
care.
to the top in the very
I
beginning?
do the beginning. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can. We don't do that. You
I'm
know,
not
it
even
does.
clipping them. I'm not even gonna clip
No,
them.
we're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
leave them.
clip-
We're just gonna leave them there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're supposed to be there.
Right.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, no.
supposed to be there. And
Yeah.
like, can you find them? Where
I
is
lost
it?
them.
Oh, okay. I lost them.
Yep.
See, we lost them.
Yeah.
So, you're right.
Don't worry.
No, we're here to have fun.
Yes.
And look at how gorgeous this is. Look at that. It's perfect. Look where it ended here, started there. It's perfect. So,
So you're gonna take this side, and you're gonna roll it up. You're gonna slide that part in. So we're just gonna go right down to the next row down here. And then, so on the screen it says,
She said she was supposed to be here at 4.
Okay.
Let's see here. So on the screen it says okay.
So the girl from the Mid-Atlantic Shop Hop is here, and she's supposed to be here at 4. The girl from the Shop Hop. So do you know anything about this?
No idea.
We have no idea. But I'm gonna go see.
Go see what she wants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring her on the show. No. So we're going down to the next row here, and based on the time, we might have to finish this little lesson up tomorrow. I don't know if we have a half hour to. I don't know if we'll get through it in a half hour. We'll keep going. We're not gonna
Do
stop.
another one. I think they get the ideas. Show them how to place the next one
Next
row
row.
down.
Okay.
As long as they know that,
Yeah, and we'll
we're good.
Yeah, but we'll keep going. We'll see how far we get. But the more you do it, the easier it gets with this. So we'll just keep going to the next row here. I'm going to keep you on here for 4 hours, and we're going to get this done. No, I'm kidding. But we'll be here all night together. That would be fun, though, to have a nice sit and sew. Sit and sew all night. So we are making our
Thank you.
making our hoop look like the picture. So there's those 2 hash marks there that they stitched in, and you can see the bottom edge of the pattern is going to be in our hoop. So we're just going to make our hoop look like the picture. So there's our marks, there's our pattern. We're going to do that. We're going to flip this over. I think someone asked me about full speed. Yes, I do. We do everything at full speed here. The machine, so it's set on the fastest it can sew.
Those are giant scissors. I just noticed those.
Oh, my fabric folding scissors. Yeah, they fold fabric instead of cut. Okay, so all the bubbles are pretty much out. Everything's good there. So our hoop looks like our picture. So we're going to go ahead and tap OK. This says you're going to use the pattern move keys to align the upper left corner. So we're going to put that red dot on that red stitched in stitch mark up there. So we're going to say OK there. So here is the top row pattern.
BJ, I brought her over.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Go to
So,
the
I mean,
table.
I put her on the spot.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go to the
Should
table
we have
here.
her
Yeah.
up here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So she's.
Okay, we'll put a microphone on her.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Isn't that nice?
I do. We do this to
Well, we do-
everybody
yes,
that comes.
we do this to everyone.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Okay.
so you're gonna tell us about the Mid-Atlantic? Okay.
I can do
'Cause
that.
I
Great.
bet our customers don't know about it.
Oh.
I bet they don't.
Okay.
So, all right. So tell us when it is, and how they join in on it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So
Are we a go now?
we're live.
Oh,
We're live.
I thought I'd have more. Okay.
Hey,
So the
We
all
don't rehearse
Mid
anything, so
what's
right?
that?
We
Got
don't
it.
rehearse anything.
So
we just
we
go
don't
for it.
rehearse.
The All Mid-Atlantic Shop Hop starts on July 1st and it goes for 2 full months and it includes the 6 Mid-Atlantic states. Now I'm probably not going to remember them all, so if I
Me
forget one,
neither.
let me
Steve,
know.
Do you know?
Delaware,
Okay.
New Jersey,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, of course, Virginia, West Virginia,
Ohio.
and Maryland.
Oh no, no.
Maryland. I got them all, so that was 6.
Good.
I counted my fingers.
That's good. Okay.
So it is a region of 6 states, but we divide the whole area up into regions to make it more manageable to shop hop in little chunks. And usually each region can have anywhere from 12 to 18 shops to visit.
Uh-huh.
And the more you complete of the shop hop, the more prize opportunities that you have to receive.
Okay, they like
And
prizes.
Yes, and there are prizes like machines, gift cards to shops, gift baskets valued at $250 plus. Anything and everything that you would probably want could be a prize. So let me tell them how they actually get started with
Okay.
this. I'm from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and myself and our team has been delivering all week to the Mid-Atlantic shops materials that they need for a successful hop. You may have seen already in some of the stores the All Mid-Atlantic Shop Hop magazine. That's going to be your key to
Remember
kicking
seeing
off
one?
this event. It includes your
We gotta sell
passport.
that
I'm gonna go
magazine.
get it. I'm
Yes.
gonna
Go
go
get it.
You
Yeah.
should. We
We'll
can
sell
show
it
it.
today.
Yes.
Okay.
It's $11.95. It includes a passport. It also has 6 patterns with the All Mid-Atlantic Shop Hop fabric because there's an exclusive line of fabric which I saw on your shelves,
I
and it's
have it.
really beautiful.
It is
And
it's pouring out.
it was.
It's
and
pouring. That's okay. It's
yes,
really pouring.
my hair
Yeah.
got really a lot curlier because I got caught in the rain. It'll have the 6 patterns. It will have the regional maps, and some stores even extend their hours
Okay.
over normal business hours to help maximize the time hoppers have. So it's very exciting. Get your magazine and you'll be able to plan. But we
Do you
also
have any
have a
idea
website.
how many shops are in our region?
Yeah, well, your region, I'm not sure specifically, but there are a total of 96 shops in the whole entire event.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm
so
not
that's
for
the
sure.
whole
region.
United States.
No, the whole Mid-Atlantic, those 6 states that I
wow,
mentioned. Yes.
96 shops.
But
Wow.
we do manage events that for 2024, there are 12 shop hop events organized by us going on in a total of 24 states.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Wonderful.
So,
okay,
it's very exciting. You guys are
Yeah.
going to have a great time.
Yeah. So Steve went running for the magazine, which I saw.
I printed it, just the cover for it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cover.
I
Oh, you're
can-
printing it
I can
out right
probably just
now?
go grab that off
Okay.
the printer. Yeah.
Okay.
And
So he even has a graphic made
buy
that
me some
fast.
time.
Did you just make that?
No,
just
No,
right now?
those
made
are all
that.
from us.
Oh, okay.
We get so
I
we've
got
got the
amazed at
magazine.
How
Yeah.
fast they do things. here.
Yes, no
Yes.
kidding.
We have. Well, you're young, but we've like our we have lots of young employees, and they are so much faster at the computer
I know.
and doing all of this kind of stuff, and so it's been very exciting. So yeah.
It's very cool.
Okay, so there
This is a
is.
good one to.
If we lay it down here,
Oh.
will they see it?
Sure.
And how much is the Shop Hop magazine?
It's $11.95.
$11.95.
Mhm.
Okay, and
Yeah.
Steve's gonna get that, or can you get that entered, PJ? Shop Hop, because I'm
yeah.
sure they're all gonna want to buy it.
Oh yes,
Right?
you have to.
Yeah.
They are
it's
already
just a little bit raining, just a little.
It's pouring outside.
they are already
Yes.
selling out in
Yes.
stores.
Yes.
So we have gotten
I put 'em in a bag
emails.
so they don't get wet.
emails from shops that have already sold out of them. But this is what it's like in real
Yes.
life.
Uh-huh.
And
I bet it feels good to see it, like after all the work that goes into it.
yes, the passport.
Uh-huh. Wow.
And let's see, here is just an example of, well, the fabric line is in here, but stop into the shop so you can see the fabric in person.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
give you guys a second.
And this is an example of some of the patterns that you'll find in it. Oh, look, there's a cute little table runner.
Oh, let me see that. We can make a kit for that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cute. Okay.
And then these are the regional maps that you get access to in the magazine. We don't put that information anywhere else. So this is where the good stuff is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, that is really cute. That table runner is right there.
Yes.
So I guess they could. Well, I don't know. We'll work on. We will definitely make a kit for that. Yes.
Very cool.
So okay, and I think PJ's gonna get that loaded in, and then I'm gonna go back with her, and she's gonna go over some paperwork with me.
Oh, good.
I have
Okay.
a flight to catch. I'm going back to Iowa at 7:30 is when my
I better
flight
let her
is.
out of here. Okay.
Thank you guys. It was nice to chat.
Thank you.
You're
Yep.
welcome.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to this. So get your Mid-Atlantic Shop Hop book.
Microphones off?
Yeah, I got them right here.
Okay.
Yep. So, well, that was fun. We was expecting her to come in all the way from Iowa. But how much is the Shop Hop book? I think it's $11.95.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm gonna put it in right now. I'm about 2 seconds away.
So,
All right. Very cool. And what time do we have?
it's 20 to 5.
20 to 5.
And,
we have a lot to show still.
I'm going to go through another pattern, this next row here, because getting the first pattern lined up is the only thing that's different. And then moving across the quilt is just like the top row. And then when we get to the bottom of the quilt, I think I can skip ahead in the machine and show you guys the next row. And it might make sense, hopefully. But we're just going to do the next row, the first pattern there, and then you're going to follow the machine just to go through that next whole row like the top row is. And then the bottom row might have something slightly different, and we'll look at that too. If we have to pop back on another time about this, we can continue this lesson. But are these in-person shop hops? They are, but any of the items that we offer for the shop hop in the store, we're going to bring to you through the live as well. So we'll go back over to the machine. I thought it's pouring out there, pouring like I'm like wet, and So, and she was a good sport too. We just threw her on right into the show. She didn't even know we were on or anything. So that's nice. So
That was cool.
it's nice. So, but I'm sure a lot of work goes into this, organizing, talking to all the stores, getting everyone on the same page. Look at all the people in there. Yeah.
Wow.
Really cool. So,
All right, back to it. Oh, I'm coming over. Go ahead. Can we just go straight to the screen and then I'll...
oh yeah, we can go screen.
Yep.
So on the screen here, that green crosshair up there is where the design is, and we're gonna make that spot right up there. So this spot right here, up to this little mark. That's just right up there where the corner of the paper is, up there. So we're gonna use our move keys. So it's these arrows up here, these arrows. We're gonna shift that up, shift it over, and that's it. It's right on there. So we're gonna say okay on the screen. Now it wants you to check that next registration point, that other one. And then also wants to make sure that it's lined up with the next pattern over. So let's say, okay, so there's 1 and 2 we have to look at. Make sure we get up to that point, that little sewn in dot, and then also that we're lined up on the right side. So let's say, okay. And here is our green crosshair. And that green crosshair should be over here. So we are going to, and so I think we need to change number 2 first, because we're way past that mark here.
Okay, let me get a little bit closer there.
This green crosshair needs to be over here on that spot.
Yep.
So I think we need to change 2 first to get over to the lined up in here, and then we'll better. So to do that, you're going to use these buttons right here. So we're going to use the arrow shifting it to the right, and that's just going to move that. It's not shifting it, it's squishing it. Let's say it's smushing. So there, that spot is now more lined up there. And we're just down a little bit. So we need to come up just a tiny bit, and you're going to use these rotate keys, and it needs to shift up. So we're just going to, let's try the one, too far. Let's go back down. Yep. Perfect. Say okay there. Let's go ahead and stitch this out. So I don't think Gloria pulls up her thread. I think she just hits the start button and goes. I'm in the habit of pulling up my thread, but if you just want to hit the start button, just hit the start button, go if that's easier for you, then go into stitch 1 and pulling up that bobbin thread.
I think she was getting in the habit of pulling up the bobbin thread.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where was the pillow that we were doing?
And I guess like it also depends like the project. Like honestly, if I'm making a quilted little bed for my dog or something, she does not care if that bobbin thread is pulled up. But if you're making like a project for a wedding gift or something, it might be a little something different. So depending on what you're doing, it could make a difference to what you're. These tweezers are the best. I would say that they're the best because tweezers, sometimes they're like, the point where it grabs the thread is very limited. So this, like the part that I have laying on the flat paper there, that whole side from the tip to the heel grabs the thread. So as long as you get it underneath there, there
There it is.
you just go like that and you can pull that thread up. So that's why I really like these. You just lay it down and pull it up like that. So these are great.
Okay, back to.
And it looks good. The spacing, when you look at the edge quilting and you look at the spacing that exists between the pieces in the pattern itself, so the spacing in between the leaves that are in this pattern, you want that similar kind of spacing between the rows so it kind of matches. And you want it to be closer than too far apart. If it's too close, you're not going to notice it as much as if there's space in between those rows. But practicing this is gonna help. You're gonna learn something new every time, or get a little better every time you do this. But starting with just a plain piece of fabric like this, you can really see where things are gonna end up. You can really get to see your quilting.
She wants
And,
to take a picture to post.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have
That
to
she was
post.
here
Oh,
in this
okay.
Oh,
store.
great.
So
Let's do it live.
would
Yeah.
that be good
Do
to
a
have the
live
camera
picture?
in there?
Yeah.
Take a
Yeah,
picture?
I can. But Steve will swing around.
Well, and I
right
need this
here.
for this, so how
You
are
want,
we
me to,
gonna?
you want me to do it this way?
I don't know,
Just
however
treat
you
it-
want to do
I'll
it.
take
Oh, PJ, you take
Yeah,
it.
I'll take it.
Well, that's a good
Okay.
idea.
I'll get some light.
Even the camera being in there, that's us. So.
I'll get a few.
Jeez.
This is great. I got a few there.
That
I
works.
mean,
Yeah. Okay.
I hope
Good.
my fingers not
Okay.
in it. Let me look. Okay.
Oh,
Good.
so you're still live?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
My
so
backside,
are they,
of course.
did you load the magazine so they can buy them?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And we'll read about all
sold
the
out.
details.
We need
sold
more.
out. We need more.
You really sold out already?
I'm not sure. We
Oh,
might
you
have
will.
been.
I could
You
go
We
will.
will.
check.
Yeah.
I'll go check.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably will.
How many did we get in?
I think we got 50.
Did you
Okay.
order any more? I think you probably got 75 with your initial order, unless you pre-sold and ordered any more.
Okay.
But we have some more, so if
Yeah.
you end up needing them, just send me an email.
We will do that.
Okay, I got a flight to catch, so it was nice meeting you all.
Have a nice flight. Yeah. Thanks for
Okay.
coming to see us all the way
Okay.
from Iowa.
Thank you.
That's great.
Fun.
Yep.
Thank you,
They
thank you
think
guys.
like
Thank
they
you.
you think like between 500 to 1,000 people will be coming through, right? Maybe even more.
In one day.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I know. And that,
You'll be
when
busy
is-
and
what are the
exhausted.
dates again?
July 1st through August 31st.
Oh, wow. It's long.
Yeah,
That's
2 months
great.
long.
2 months
Yeah.
long.
Can you
Yes.
repeat those days? July.
July 1st through August 31st. Your whole July, August, just that's all you're doing. For
Yeah.
those 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quilt
you guys
shop
have a good
hopping.
night.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm so glad she came because I
Thank you.
needed some explanation.
Yeah.
Okay.
She came all the way from Iowa just to talk to us. Isn't that
Yeah.
nice?
Yes.
So the first pattern's done, and the next rows are going to go just the same as the first row did. Nothing really changes different. There's nothing new. You're just going to walk through those steps of that through this row, just like it was before, and then you go down to the next row. So I can try to trick the machine into thinking that we're at that point. Does that make sense, everyone? So we're gonna skip, but you can go back and finish. I'm gonna finish this too, but for now, I want you guys to see the bottom portion of it. So we're going to. There's nothing new that's gonna happen as you finish these next sections of it. It's gonna be the exact same as the top there. The bottom now. You have the bottom of the quilt to worry about. So we're going to look at that now. So we're gonna skip these for now, and we're going to advance through to this section down here. So in this quilt, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want to go to the 9th segment. Okay? So the 9th segment is where we want to go to. So on our screen here, please show the trim. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, thank you, Charlene. I will show that. So we're going to say OK on our screen. We're going to say OK on our screen there. And I just want to say OK again because I want to get past this. OK again. Let's see. You know what? I think normally there was like a segment button down here. How do we get to that? I think if we go, I think I have to just pretend I'm done with this section. Let's try something. So we're gonna like have to MacGyver this. We're gonna go, oh, there it is. Okay, what I was looking for was the segment key. And it's the minus plus there. I knew it was somewhere. So you hit the minus plus button down here at the bottom. And there's where your segments are. And we want to move to the 9th segment of this quilt to show that part. You probably won't ever have to do this. Hopefully I'm not confusing anyone, but just to take a look at that last row. Say okay there. And now we're on the bottom left of our quilt. And we're going to make our hoop look like that, okay? So we're going to roll this up. This made it so much easier. When I didn't roll this up, it was kind of hard to manage. Just rolling this up kind of made all the difference. So there we are. Slide that in. And then this is when the important to have that leaf out the back of the machine, so the back of the quilt is supported. It's easy to support this side of the quilt because you're sitting here. You can have it sit on your lap, but the back part you can't sit in the back and the front to support it. So having the quilt just lay on the table right there is support enough. You don't want it hanging off, especially as the quilts get bigger. So we're gonna put this so that those marks are right at the top of our hoop, and then we have enough space on this side. So I think that looks good right about there. Flip our hoop around. Now I will tell you guys, when you're working with these magnetic hoops, as long as you have 3 sides that are supported, and what I mean by that, 3 sides. So if you have this side clamped in with fabric, the top side, and the right side, and you say you don't have any at the bottom, you still will be okay. So as long as you have 3 sides supported, I think you'll be okay. Because with this, I'm going to move that up a little bit to get that in line. A little bit crooked. Let's pull that. So this part here isn't supported, but don't worry about that. You'll be okay as long as 3 sides are supported when you're doing this. Okay. Okay. Looks pretty good. Looks mostly straight there. I got the top edge up there like it's supposed to. It looks like my picture on the screen. So we're going to go ahead and tap OK. You're going to use the move keys. Oh.
Adjust you a little bit.
I'm good at bumping this camera. There we go. You're going to use the move keys to line up the top left corner with that little corner that it's sewed in from the last row. So we're going to say,
Steve, make sure you have to make length adjustments. They're asking how to do it. Make sure you have.
Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna match up the bottom. That's part of this. That's why I wanted you guys to see the bottom part too, because you want your edge quilting to come all the way down, and you don't want it to stop like up here. You need it to come all the way down. So we're gonna look at that too. So we're going to say OK on here. We're gonna line up that top left corner. So right now, our top left corner is over here. We need that green crosshair to be up on that mark right up here. So we're going to use our move keys and shift that up. shift that over. So there's that green crosshair right on that point. So we're going to say, okay. Now on the screen here, there's 1, 2, but 2 has an A and a B, the right side and the bottom side. So let's remember this. You got to deal with 1. 1's putting the right corner on that sewn in mark, as well as making sure this looks lined up here on this right side and the bottom side too. Okay, so we got 3 things to look at next. Say okay here. Now, this didn't stitch that part out because we didn't do that section of this one, because that would have happened before. So we're gonna have to kind of just make this work here. So this leaf here, should be in line with this leaf here. Should it? No. This leaf here should be in line, because you're going to look at the screen. Let's look at the screen too. So the right side here, we're lining up this right side. I was looking at the leaf down here that's stitched out up there. It's not that leaf it needs to be in line with. It's the second leaf up there. So you're going to have to look at your pattern. And this is, I feel like this, I kind of threw us off by this, but you guys might have to encounter this, but you have to look at what points line up and down, because it's just the same pattern. So that top right leaf is supposed to line up with that, the tip of that leaf there. So that tip of that leaf is up here. And that's right, it's right here.
Let me see if I can see that.
You can really see it on the screen where they line up. You just have to find those 2 points on the quilt. So I'm just gonna pull this up here, and that's lined up right there. So that's a better judgment there. So I have my paper on the tip of that leaf, so now I know where this pattern should fall in line too. Can you go back a few sections and add that? I'd have to rehoop and go back and do it, but you definitely could have. And like, you wouldn't run into this because you wouldn't be skipping ahead like we did. What we're like fixing right now is something you shouldn't ever have to fix, because I skipped ahead to show this last part. So these registration marks would be in, but I'm just kind of thinking through it out loud of how to make this work since I don't have that mark. And knowing where that edge of that leaf is and the edge of our top leaf on the screen, and that's what's here. So I just know that this projector part needs to be in line with the paper now. Okay?
Do you want to continue this on a different time, just so there isn't as much confusion, and do it just straight through?
Yeah, I'm going to do this one last section on this one, and then we'll do this. This edge thing, we love it so much. We want to show you guys again and again and again this part of it, because we feel like this is like a huge part of the machine.
It is.
No, yeah, we'll just do this last section here, and that we'll just
Yeah.
Yeah,
And show
so-
them some products
yeah.
to earn our keep.
Yes.
And
yep.
then,
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
So we I want this edge right here to be in line with this white piece of paper. So we're just gonna use this. I'm gonna call it the smush key. It's this arrow, and it's just moving that over right to there.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's done there. And then where are we up here? And this looks pretty good spacing wise in between those leaves. So I think it's good there. So we're just gonna say, okay. And you know what? I didn't look at the bottom of our quilt. Let's look at that. I hit the OK button before adjusting that. So how do you go back and fix that? Hit this.
Will the machine remember when you come back?
Go back.
That's a good question.
Yes, it will.
Figuring it out right now.
Okay,
There
so
it is.
I didn't tell you what I did, but I just did it. I'm gonna hit OK again here again, so we get to that point. So if you've gone too far in your buttons, I feel like I might be really confusing everyone now. If you've gone too far in your buttons and you need to go back and adjust something, what you have to do is Oh, goodness. So this is where we were at before, and I haven't made that final adjustment. And this might happen to you, though. You didn't make that final adjustment at the bottom of the quilt, and I tapped OK too soon. To go back, I did the -+ key. I went back to segment 8, and then forward to segment 9, and you have to kind of restart this little process over of lining everything up. You might not want to line everything up again, but if you missed that step and hit the OK button too soon like I did, that's how you go back.
Okay.
So what I had to do is a -+ key, go back to segment 8, forward to segment 9, and then we're going to hit OK here. And we have to set everything back up for number 9, and that's okay. We'll do it again. So we need to rehoop. So our hoop looks like what's on the screen, and we've already done that step. So let's tap OK here. We're going to line up that left top point with that sewn in mark. So say OK there. So we're going to come up here, and it's way down here, and it needs to go up there. So we're going to shift this up. And this is like real learning, because I've gotten in that point where I've gone too far and wasn't sure how to get back, but you kind of have to like talk yourself through it. So I'm glad we're learning this together.
And sometimes you don't get it done in one day.
No. Yep.
So a lot of times you don't get it done in one day.
So I'm telling you, the more you do it, the easier it's going to be. It's going to be a struggle. It might be your first time and stuff, but it'll get easier. So that point's there where we want it to be. So we're going to say OK on our screen. Now, there's 1, 2, and 3. I skipped the number 3. So we need to do all 3 of these. So we're going to do that this time. So we're going to say OK again. This part would have been sewn out before, but what we need to do is we need to line up. Let's see here. That leaf right there with the, so we need to be at the edge of our paper for this one. So we're going to smush it back. Okay, so that part is done, and it's in line there. And then the next thing we want to do before you hit the OK key is to check the bottom of your quilt. And the machine doesn't really tell you that. You have to just know from that previous screen that you have to do those 3 things. So if you have to write it down on your white piece of paper, this is what I need to do that for yourself. So you have that in front of you so you don't forget. So we're going to go to these buttons down here, and we're going to check. I'm going to go to the bottom middle of our quilt and see where that ends up. It's about 1 inch off. So we need to stretch that down. So we're going to use this stretch key, stretch it down to that edge right there. Okay, so just check the left side over here, hit that button, check there. That looks good. Check this one on here, the right side. That looks good. Now you can hit that OK key. And you would stitch this one out, and that would be, why would you need to squish the right side of the design? So the right side of our design needed to line up with the, that sewn in mark that would have been up here if I would have completed that row. So I had to just move it back to be in line, because we were doing the 3 things. We were lining up the top right corner with that sewn in mark that's supposed to be up here. You also have to kind of look at the pattern to make sure it's not going over too far this way. And then you're also looking at the bottom. It can seem a little daunting maybe at first when you're walking through this, but each time you go and rehoop it, you're gonna get better and better with it. So I'm not even gonna sew that one out. We're gonna leave it right there, because I'd like to finish this to show you guys the sample and stuff too. But there's some products that are really helpful when you're doing this. We want to set you up for success, so we're gonna show you a few of those things right now. The first one is this white piece of paper. No, I'm kidding. So
Mhm.
we have one single white piece of paper for sale. It's the perfect paper for. So, so we did the hoops. So the biggest hoop, the 9.5 by 14. Some of the other hoops are the 8 by 12 size magnetic hoop. That's a good size for table runners. So that's nice to have. They're still marked down at the 88 price.
What's that?
The
Oops.
hoops are still marked down. They're still like, I haven't got a chance to go back and adjust them, so
Oh.
they're still on sale.
So that there's
get 'em all.
illegal
They're
price. Illegal.
We are
But-
in violation.
Yeah, we go to jail.
Yeah, we
but you
will.
can buy them today at that good
And
price.
then you have to bail us out.
Yeah.
So
Yes, you have to. If we
just
do go
get
to
the hoop.
dime jail, yeah, get the hoop because they're a really good deal.
Mhm.
So we had no idea. So we never changed them back. So
The
you
other-
won't see these anywhere.
No, the
We
other
better be
hoop
quiet.
that we,
Move on to the next item. But you guys will see the prices, and I would grab them now.
if they run in and lock us up during the show, you know why. So the next hoop for quilting is the 10.5 by 10.5. It's a good square size hoop for doing the block size or the quilt blocks. So it's nice to have the square one as well. Thank you for bailing us out, Lita. I appreciate that. The other one is the 9.5 by 9.5. It's another square hoop for quilting that we really like to get. And these are the don't try to do it with the regular hoop. You won't be as happy.
Even we love the baby lock magnetic hoops, but these are better for the quilting.
Different tools for different applications, different products for different applications. These we use for like thicker things, but the quilting, these are
Because you lift
Yep.
it up so easy and slide to the next section.
mhm.
Yeah.
Next
Okay.
is that exquisite variegated thread. It's nice to have all 15 colors because you can do all your quilts and have them there.
Yeah.
I don't have one here to show you.
Believe us, we use it
Took 'em
all
back
the
over,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it has a bunch. And then when you're looking at your variegated thread, I wanted to give you guys a tip. I can just steal this one off here.
I was in the middle of ordering the 5,000 yard spool of variegated. I didn't even know they had those.
We have some in the basement too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in variegated.
Yep. Yeah.
So I think I should tell Liz we need those.
Liz, you're out there.
Well, no, we hope she isn't listening because she will.
Oh, she would
she'll
choose
be
the
the
police.
Yeah. So
When you're looking at your variegated thread, cones can look different on the side. Look at the top, and that's what the color's going to really look like. If it looks different on the side, it's just because how it wound and how the colors are ending up. So they look different. Like this green one looks different from this one.
but it's the same one.
It's the same one. But if you look at the top, they look the same. So look at the tops if you want to look at the thread. So, but we have, do we have this one?
It should be, yes.
The baby pack. This is a nice little starter set. 4 different variegateds. So it's got the pink, different shades of pink, goes from light to dark pink in there. The blue is a great one because it goes through all different blue colors. The green we use all the time. I use the green like in like tree designs where you got to stitch out something that it looks really great. We don't use the variegated much for lettering. I'm not crazy
No.
about the lettering, how it
Some
looks.
people do. They like colorful things,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah.
really like it for all. And then this is a great orange and pinks and
Yellow.
yellow in there.
hmm
So that's a nice little star set. And what's it say on this side? Rainbow medley pack. Yep.
And we fill the bobbin with the same thread.
Same thread.
So
same
we-
thread. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll just go back up to the list
Great
like you
spool
had.
caps. I just saw those, and he's got one right there. Oh, we could run down the whole list.
Yeah, go back to that.
Great,
Yep.
great mini spool cap, but you won't just get one.
No, we have
It's
8
a
of them here.
pack of 8 of them because you lose them so easy. And it is, right, if you can't find your gray spool cap, it is
Detrimental.
panic time, right?
Here, I'll zoom in.
Yours will not have a bow on it.
No.
This is the greatest invention they did, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it holds your all your cone threads.
On, oh my God, $9.98. That's a
Yeah.
really good price.
See, I bet you had a special deal going. We never changed the prices on
We're
things.
so busy.
I
So,
know. Okay.
is your,
If you have
yes.
baby lock owners that you're friends with, that makes a really nice gift.
Yeah. You could start making money on these.
Yes.
Because I think they sell individually for about,
Well, I think I'll go check, but last time I checked Amazon, they were $6 a piece. Yeah.
there you go. Start your Amazon business. We'll supply you with all the great spool caps you need. But you get 8 of them in there. And that's a great way. You need all 8.
You do,
So-
because you fling your thread off and it goes flying.
And you show them where you store them. You store them up on this part right up here. You stack them up here.
Yeah, I do.
too,
I
up
like,
top.
and I panic when I
Yeah.
only have one left. I think, uh-oh, I have to get more.
What's next on the list there?
Both
Bobbins.
cost 15,
There's the. I had a 100
100.
pack somewhere.
Yep. And
Oh, there they are. Okay,
Yeah.
right behind you. Okay.
These
This.
are 100 of the baby lock bobbins. These are the best bobbins to pre-round. They have that light blue tint to
Mm-hmm.
them, and it's just nice to grab a new bobbin, and then you get to a
I
bobbin.
stack up bobbins on that
You
same
do.
thing. I have gray spool caps and bobbins right up there.
I have like a moral dilemma. Every time I go to a bobbin, there's just a little bit of thread on it. It's like more than you'd want to pull off, but I need a bobbin, so like just go get a new bobbin. Just go get a new bobbin out of your 100 pack, and you'll be good to go. So you just can wind a new bobbin, and you're ready to go. So
bone ash.
bone ash. So our bone ash fuse it powder is really nice if you're using a batting that is not fusible. This makes it fusible. Less is more. Just sprinkle a little
Yeah,
bit
like
on
salt.
and fuse it down. People
Mhm.
run into trouble when they're using too much.
And they wonder what we're doing with bone ash.
It's bone ash from the ashes of bones. That is fusible. Did you know that our bones are fusible? If you grind our bones down, they make it into a powder that fuses your quilts. It washes out. Don't worry.
No.
It's called bone ash, not
Yeah.
bone.
That's the name of the company.
Yes.
Is bone here? Here is the name of the company that makes the fuse it powder. Bone ash,
Bone ash.
not bone ash. Which honestly, that is a real thing. Bone ash. They use it in gardening. Some lady told us that. Yeah, bone ash is a real
So
thing.
instead, you're now in a garden. So yeah. But bonds fabric together instantly. No sewing required. Just iron and done.
It turns everything into a fusible.
Yep.
But we have people that put it on really thick. That's why
But
we stress just
This is several
a little
quilts.
bit.
Several quilts, and you don't see it coming out
Yeah.
because it's white and everything. So less is more.
You can feel it with your hand. It will feel like sand.
And you got to let that iron heat up and melt that so it fuses. Because if you pick your quilt up and all the little like
If the
particles run off.
right,
Yeah.
it'll look like salt.
Yep.
You didn't hold
Does
your
it say
iron
how
on
long
it
to hold
enough.
it?
I don't know.
Try on a sample material first. Use a dry iron or hot iron. It says use these sheets.
I never do.
No rules here.
No.
I like the sheets. It keeps
Yeah.
the iron clean. I'm
Yeah.
using this.
We're selling the sheets too. I know I saw it in the lineup. So these are the Teflon
It just says apply heat.
sheets.
Easy as 1, 2, 3. Apply bone ash. Cover it with a fiberglass sheet. Apply heat. That's all it says.
Yeah. Does it say apply bone ash?
Apply bone ash.
Bone ash. Fuse it. Wait, fiberglass.
That's what this is.
Here, wait. Oh, cover with a bone ash fiberglass nonstick ironing sheet.
We got you a
Okay.
better deal on ours. These
Yeah.
are a better deal on
Okay.
these ones. Yeah. So
And
we
they
got
get
these.
2 in a
You get
pack,
2 in a
right?
pack. Yep.
Yeah.
So these are non-stick Teflon sheets. I like to use 2. What I did was laid it over top of the part that was fusible, that was going to touch the hot surface, and you're good to go. Or anything you might scorch, anything you don't want to touch directly with a hot iron, you can use this. Yep.
Okay.
So that's our Teflon sheets.
And then we have these.
Oh, I love
I
this.
put
Yes.
them in the lineup at the very bottom.
So,
There's
you're
2 of them, and I
That's the giant iron.
have you
slide.
seen some of our ironing
oh
board
maybe I didn't
covers?
press
Yeah,
maybe
I
I,
have
oh
it
there
right
it
here,
is.
yeah.
Iron slide. Yeah.
Have you seen some of our ironing board covers? They are nasty. They're gross because of all the fusing and everything like that. You need a new cover. Get yourself a new cover and it will look beautiful. And this one's really a neat cover. It comes with a piece of foam. There's one open somewhere over here. I just threw a piece. I didn't want to throw it away because I might be able to use it. Did I set it somewhere behind the door maybe?
But it's sticky.
I'm going to go grab it because I think I know where it's at.
Sticky, so they're looking for it.
Okay.
So, okay,
So this
there
is
you
what I
go.
had left over from, because this is the smaller size. The one in the bubble is the bigger one. This is the one for the full-size ironing board. 65 by 29. So if you have a full-size ironing board, get this one.
Okay.
This is what I had left over from this one here. So it comes with the foam. And so you lay the foam down first. You trim the foam to be the same size as your ironing surface. So the same size as your ironing board. You just trim that out. And then this you cut A little bit bigger because you want it to wrap around
Yeah.
underneath.
Even you, you made it go way under, and that's better.
Mhm.
I
So
cut
which
mine to
side-
just
which
go to
side did
the
you
edge.
use for-
I use the smaller size.
So
the
that's
one in the one in the
red
bubble now is the tweezers are coming up, Beth. Yep. The one in the bubble now is a smaller size, and I used it to cover this, and this is what I had left over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is so sticky, and there's foam in here that's sticky,
Yeah, really sticky.
and it's that surface that like
So Steve did it really good. If you could, yeah, show him the corner. So he has it wrapped all the way under. I did my my kiwi ironing
oh, did you
pad.
do a kiwi? That's a great
yeah,
idea.
the kiwi.
Yeah.
Mine got a mess.
Let's see what it looks
I'm
like
doing
underneath.
so much fusing. Yeah, there you go.
I just clipped the corners and just kind of smushed it in and
It's sticky.
sticky. Yep. And if it's coming, you can use just super glue down or glue something, and it'll stay right down because the whole thing's sticky. It worked really well. But yeah,
Okay, so that was the smaller one. Did we put the bigger one in?
put the bigger one back
So
in.
one of them
the bigger
is like a
one back.
2000, part number 2000. I don't see. And one was a part number
So that's the big one, giant.
giant.
Giant's here's giant.
Okay,
Giant.
this one is giant.
No,
Okay,
this one's giant. This
this-
one's giant.
that one's giant. What's this one?
This one says giant because it's giant.
Oh, giant. And this one just is regular. I think this one seems thicker, Steve. Yeah.
Does it say which size?
So, don't know. Maybe
Mine
that one
said-
doesn't
mine
come
were
with
covered.
the
I said mine were
foam.
covered.
Right?
The foam's in there. It's
Hey.
just down further. Feel
Okay.
this side. It's
Okay.
thicker, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
there.
Okay.
Yep.
All
yeah.
right.
This one, yeah. So it doesn't take much to fool us here. Yes.
Okay.
If you're not sure what to do, get both of them. You'll be all set. So, but the giant one is for a full-size ironing board, and this is for smaller size. What size is this one? I don't even know. So, get whichever one you want.
Is it in the description? Let's see.
If you got a big one, get a big one. If you got a small one, get a small one. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Six-
I would get the
65.
big one
Giant
the big
because
one.
you're gonna
65
mess
by
up this one
29,
too, and then you'll have it.
Yeah.
And the giant is 65 by 29, and the iron slide, regular iron slide, is
There'll be a pop quiz later for all of you. So
59 by 19.
59 by 19. Oh God, I can't remember that. 59 by...
Yeah.
Okay, next one. We're
No,
going
so
on.
we'll
Yeah.
move on.
Just
We'll
get
move
one. I loved it though because it really worked well for this and it sticks
Yeah.
really nice.
Okay.
So
Next is
because this is the ones that slip. If you get one of those, you have to pull the string
Oh,
and tie it.
forget it. It's too
Awful.
hard.
You get
yeah.
a wrinkle while you're
Oh,
ironing. and that's not
titanium
yeah.
easy snips. They gotta have this
2-pack.
2-pack. It's a 2-pack.
Yep. Because you need one on this side of the room and one on that side of the room.
Because you know what, you lose them underneath your piles of fabric.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
did you put the magazine in?
Oh, the tweezers. Let's do the tweezers. Everyone asking about the tweezers.
What'd you
So
do with
they're
your
over here.
tweezers?
So this set you might get a set with a yellow handle, you might get a set with a silver handle. It's just depending on which ones they have in stock, whether it's the same exact tweezers. These are the Femore tweezers that have that heel that you can pinch and pull the thread up. I really like these tweezers for all kinds of stuff.
I think this is in the lineup.
Yeah.
Kathy put
Oh,
together
the trim
these-
thing. They want to see the trim thing. Why don't I
The
just
trim thing.
the trim thing on the machine? We can just go to the machine before because I'll forget again. We'll just go over there real quick and I'll be right back up.
Okay.
So we can switch to that one.
Machine.
So it's real simple. I can just do it right on this one here.
Okay.
Yep. So the trim thing, guys, I'm glad you said that again. Sorry about that.
Ready.
Are we up there? Okay, good. So when you're in the embroidery screen like this, the scissor button down here, the scissor button right there, if you touch on that, you have two different options here for the trimming. End color trim, jump stitch trim. There's no jump stitches in our embroidery for this because there's no color changes. It's one continuous stitch. End color trim. If you don't like those knots on the back, if you're fussy, you can turn that off and you can pull your thread up the bottom and manually snip like you do at the beginning. But us, I just leave it on and then I can just leave those tails go. But that's where you find it. It's where the scissor is right down there. Touch on the scissor and then there's end color trim and jump stitch trim. We're going to talk more about that on a lesson we're going to do a fill pattern and a border for a quilt. So, but that's where you find those, the scissor button. Okay?
Okay.
So we got the tweezers. Oh, pressing this. You need a large surface to press this on. That's why I pulled out our heat press here. The other option is the wool mat. That's the roll, which is really nice. You can get a lot of coverage done. I feel like the more you have to move it and things, the more things shift on you. So if you can lay out a big surface and press a lot at once, it's easier for you. So this wool mat, and we have no ironing boards left in the store. We have no ironing. We have all of our ironing is done from a wool mat. So, and we even like had a table upstairs that was a little narrower than this was, and we wanted to fit better. And we took a rotary cutter and trimmed this down. So you can, if you have a table that's like narrow, you can trim this up. We used just a 60 millimeter and just trimmed a little bit off, and it fit perfect for us. So, but this is the big size. This is 21 and 5/8 by 58 and 5/8. You think they just make a solid inch there or something, but yeah, 21 by 58 for the wool pressing mat. And this is the thick one. This isn't the thinner one. Some of those bigger ones can be thinner, but this is the thick one. So our 2-pack of bobbins here, right here. I'll put them back in the box or the bag.
Right here.
So here they are. I'm going to tell you about the bobbins again. Green dot is for quilting, and it's right there on the side on the screw. The other one's the purple dot, and you're going to use that one if the white thread's coming up top for your embroidery. But they're the 2 bobbin cases that come with your machine. It's a wear item that we replace on machines. It's nice to have these as a backup if something would happen. Sometimes you're going to needle strike through this, and that's okay. It's supposed to happen, and you can replace these very easily. So we have a 2-pack that is still on special. We were offering 1 bobbin case, I think $36.95 for 1 bobbin case, but we got this 2-pack for $49.88. So it's a good time just to get the 2-pack so you have them ready to go when you need them. So, oh, the other item I put in today was the W foot for the embroidery. When you're working with this edge-to-edge quilting, at the edge of the fabric there, yes, they fit the Brother machines as well. Will you Bonash large ironing cover fit over the large wool mat? No, I don't think I would. Oh, will the big one fit over this? Oh, what size is the big one?
Now you're asking me which size the big one. It's 59 by 19.
59 by 19.
But then you lose the wool power.
Oh, sorry. I got it wrong. The giant is the
Yes, it will.
65 by 29.
Yes, it would fit over top of that. I don't know if I'd put it over there, but it does. It is big enough.
Yeah.
The embroidery foot on the machine. This one here. Every one of us has gotten fabric caught, wrapped all up in there, stitched. It's chewed up the whole project, shifted everything out, and then it's happened to all of us. And if it happens to you really good, if you do it really well, you can even bend your foot. And the foot is designed to bend so that the internal workings of the machine don't bend and mess anything up. So they've done it that way. So these are replaceable. So if you've done that, you can get a new one. And that's why I put one in there, because it's nice to have one. Because if you're working on a project and that happens to you and you bend your foot, then you're kind of out of luck until you can get a new one. So they aren't too terribly expensive because these ones don't have the plug-in. We used to have the ones that plugged in the back, and they're a little more expensive. And if you have a machine that uses the plug-in with the laser pointer, you can still use this one. It just won't have the laser pointer to have an extra backup. So this is a nice extra W foot. The other thing you got to watch is that if you've ran into the needle with the inside of the foot here, if you get any needle strikes down where the needle passes up through, you can cause some thread shredding. So if you have that, it's a good time to replace it. So this is the W foot for our embroidery machines. The batting,
Showed that one already.
I can't say enough about this batting because it's diffusing. You don't have to baste your layers together.
And you know what?
Say no more.
We have award-winning quilters, Ruth Ann Lowry and Kathy Antoniazzi. They both won ribbons and they
Renee has used this for
Renee,
years.
yes,
Right there,
Renee
you-
is another unbelievable quilter.
Mhm.
And I thought Kathy wouldn't want the fusible. I thought she'd want the traditional. And so I brought her both, and she said this is what she likes.
It's
Yeah.
So it's the 80-20. I like that because it shrinks a little bit, but you still have the polyester in there. And Hobbs, their batting's always real nice. You get a package crib size. That's what I use today. The other size is the queen size. It's 90 by 108, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good for that size. Or if you want to do big projects, you can cut that down to do what you want. So, and then, so yeah, those are the two battings, the fusible ones. And I used the steam press today. I pulled this out because I wanted to get that ironing done faster.
Yes.
And this made it faster. And I'm telling you, I put the project in there. I closed the lid, locked the lid down, and I walked and did something else while it was fusing. And you don't necessarily, but it just made it easier because having to hold that iron
Somebody said,
down.
is there, does it beep at you if you leave it down long?
I have heard it beep.
Yeah, okay,
And I
so
don't
that's
know
what
why,
that's why it's telling you.
Yes.
It's
But
you're
what I
leaving
did
it
is I left
taut.
it down like this for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I walked away and forgot about it. And I thought my quilt was going to be on fire when I came back, but it was not. It was okay. So don't worry. You'll be just fine. Yeah, but that's why this was really nice because it has an emergency, it has a shut off too. But this whole surface here is your iron now. So you can really get a lot fused. So if you want to use that hot fix fusible, and I'm telling you, you have to hold the heating element, you have to hold the heat on for quite some time. And this allows you to do it because you can just push it down and really get
So
that to
doing
clamp
the
in.
featherweight hot fix because they want you to leave it down for 30 seconds.
30 seconds, that's a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to hold down your iron. Yeah,
So get it done faster.
I'm going to be using this a lot.
Yep. So we have the latest version available to you guys,
Do you want
the
to?
Steam Fast. Automatic shut off. It's 25 by 10.5 inches. Go up a little bit. Right there, down right there. Adjustable digital fabric temperature setting. It does have a water tank down here. You can do pressing for dry and steam, but it's a nice way to get your stuff ironed fast. So
Are we good?
yes.
We're good.
Anything else on the list? Let's see.
There are a couple other things, yeah.
Oh.
Do you want to do
We had this
Yeah.
little
Which
kit. This is to do log cabin quilting.
Log cabin quilting kit. Yeah, throw it up there. Honey buns are the perfect size for log cabin quilting. All the cutting is done for you in those little strips. And in here we have the honey bun, the instructions to do.
The red is
table
for the
runner.
center, and this is red, white, and blue. And there's kind of a
Oh, picture
table
of it here.
runner pictured, yeah. So that if we can get it on
Stuck together.
there. So this is
Oh, that's cute. Oh, nice.
yeah. So it tells you how to line them up. It's the easiest quilting you will ever do.
We only have 6 of these
Mm-hmm.
because of the honey buns, but it's a really nice way to get that. So the red is for the center block, all these to go around, and then the blue is for.
Oh, the backing and wraparound binding.
Oh wow, okay, you get everything. Okay, good.
Yep.
Yep,
Right.
plus the instructions.
Yep. Honey bun. Fat
You will need
eighth.
backing fabric.
Oh, backing. Fat eighth, 9x22, 4 squares, half yard for binding. So
Binding,
that's for
okay.
binding.
Binding.
So they provide backing.
So, and then let's put the mystery. Ooh,
Yeah.
$500 deposit.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's all we can say. So you're just putting a deposit down on something that's going to be really great coming out sometime. We don't know what it is. But if you know what it is, you know what it is.
Yeah.
So you can put it down. That $500.
It's time. It's time for
time.
it. It's time
It's
for it.
fully refundable, so no worries. If you
Mhm.
say, I want my $500 back, we'll give you your $500
But
back.
for doing it with
You
us.
get a free gift, and it's a Baby Lock collapsible cooler, which is really nice.
I took it back over.
And this
Okay.
really nice coffee mug that we will show you, but you'll be very impressed when it comes in the mail with that. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it for today.
There's a few
So
books, but,
that's okay. Oh, the 10 needle. The 10 needle, yes. If you're interested in 10 needle, now's the time. The price we have it priced at is so good, we're not taking trades and not doing any long-term
And
financing.
you probably don't have the price up there, right?
I do.
Oh, you do?
I do. We're
Okay.
allowed. Yeah.
Okay,
And
we're allowed
I
'cause
did.
it's-
I did what
It's
you
used,
said.
but it only has 68,000 stitches.
I was gonna go, and Gloria said this, and I did what you said. I
Okay.
did the. Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Look at it. Brand new. Brand new.
Oh, the accessories are here. So this is the largest hoop, the 8x14. It also comes with the 5x7 and the 1/2 by 2.5 and the 4x4. All the accessories are still wrapped in plastic. It has IQ Designer. It also has that border feature, so you can do borders with this quilt. It comes with the big platform that if you want to use it as a flatbed machine, but really this is the free arm machine to do bags or shirts or anything like that. 10 threads, 10 needles, and it's a really wonderful machine. People who have them love them. They keep them. So, and then I wanted to show this. Because Zach has.
What is this?
She's I think she's in her 90s,
Uh-huh.
and she needed her machine fixed. So Zach went and got her machine and
Uh-huh.
fixed it, and she made this for him as a thank you.
Aw. That's nice.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
She said she's a really sweet lady, and that was Zach's gift. So isn't that nice? So
Yeah.
we make things for the people that we love, the people we care about. So that's nice. So
Yeah.
I think that's it for today.
Yeah. Okay. So we will see them on Monday.
Monday.
At 3. We've got
Material
fabulous.
madness.
Oh my goodness, beautiful fabric. We got a bunch of K-fin.
You
Yeah. So
so much fabric has shown up.
yes.
I asked Gloria, what are you doing?
I know the
Enough
attic
is
is
enough.
full. It is full.
I think the roof like bulged.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, Pete was always worried about putting so much up there because of the weight. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we better sell it on Monday.
We'll sell it on Monday.
Okay.
We'll
All
see
right.
you Monday, everyone.
Okay.
Thank
bye
you so
bye.
much.
Thank you.